The camera caught that, just so you know. Um, I don't know what is up with Susanne this morning, but this is going to be a fun recording. Um, I would like to introduce our topic, and then you're going to need to do a lot of the carrying because you know these keys a little bit more than I do, Suzanne. And then I don't know if we've even looked at the human design. So we are introducing the next pillar of the School of Light Collective. And this light being has been one of the guardians and support systems for the school as we've gone through all of our evolutions and shifts and dances and changes. And um, her name is the Divine One. And as we travel, the next 4 sessions, we'll be traveling through her prime gifts on the Gene Key profile. And based on when she came into being, was channeled into being. And we're going to begin today with the life's work key of this being, which is
presence.
Yeah, baby. So Gene Key 20 is in the life's work section, or the space, placement in the Gene Key profile. And as one of her prime gifts, we are wanting to embody or receive or activate this energy within us by contemplating on this light being, on this archetype. And the full Gene Key is superficiality is the shadow, which is where us humans get to realize, oh, that's my cue that it's time for me to turn on to the presence, because that's where things really happen, versus running through life and thinking through life and not being present, being absent, which I really appreciate the way Richard Rudd describes it in his transmission. And then moving into the space of, what's the citic state? Oh, present is the citic. So what is the gift state?
Self-assurance.
Aha. So, you would think I had never played with this Gene Key, and I have, but for some reason, it's like doesn't want to stay in my mind. So maybe the wisdom is in there somewhere embodied. But so we're also recording this during the pulse of Gene Key 43, which is Epiphany, which happens to be one of Suzanne's prime gifts. And then the other thing I wanted to just mention and call into being is we're heading into a very powerful final supermoon of the year in the next 24 hours. And it's this divine one's right here. It's her birthday. So this is a big week. So with all that energy going on, I'm going to turn it over to you.
So feeling into the essence of this divine one and grounding ourselves in the energy of divine relaxation, not needing to worry or be incessant about how things look on the outside, but really this is our time to go inward. When we are fully present to the now moment, to feel everything, to be with what is, that's where the magic occurs, because you can see, feel, understand that there is more that is happening than what you see with your eyes.
Under the surface. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And as we do that, and it's paired with Epiphany, which is an insight, which is all about the breakthrough. And we find that space or those ahas when we slow down and we become present. So they kind of go hand in hand. You can't get the breakthrough unless you're slowing down and get into that contemplative state of expansiveness of your thought. Um, and it's minimizing the mind's incessant need to worry or be noisy. And
Which,
that
yeah,
is just, I think it's a very human trait, something that I've dealt with a lot of my life. And so this is a perfect opportunity to drop in and understand your divine beingness and really contemplate the divine one within. And that presence is what can help. Deborah, would you like to share the mudras to assist people to be in that space?
absolutely. Um, I'm going to start with presence, and then I will also share epiphany because they both are pretty powerful. And we practiced them right before starting the recording, and I feel like it has shifted, or it could be the cacao I'm drinking in my coffee. Who knows? Something has shifted in me from where I was when I first sat down at the computer this morning. So, um, this is funny because I have been doing this mudra for quite a long time, and we see it all the time in the Buddha um, images. And what I think I was doing, not that you can do it wrong, but that I wasn't in a state of really being receptive to all of the energy because I was pushing too hard. He's like, take your middle finger and your thumb and touch them very, very lightly. So they're just kind of like skin to skin connected, which makes that super sensitivity thing light up in our nerve endings. But the other thing is it allows the um, energetic flow to be super sweet and soft. So this is presence, and it allows us to collapse in all of time and space. We're not in the present, we're not in the past, we're totally in the now. Love that. And just breathing softly and allowing yourself, you can practice this at any time, anywhere, underneath your desk while you're in a meeting, whatever would support you. Um, the epiphany one, I love this. The image that they show on teaching the mudra is not just the hand gesture, but it also shows the gene key with the yin and yang image. And I think it's because it brings it all together. And us humans and our deafness, it's so nice to just slow down and allow this to be. So, what you want to do is take your thumb and forefinger this time and create like a little linked chain between your two thumbs and forefingers. And then the other three fingers, you just wrap around and then you fold those thumbs inside and to a comfortable space, but nice and warm, like you're really holding it in. And this is holding, for me, it feels like I'm holding the essence of eternity, but also it's so expansive and simple. Does that make sense? Can you be simply expansive?
Mm-hmm.
What does it feel like to you? What does it evoke in you?
When I see these connected like this, it reminds
Mhm.
me of the infinity ring
Um,
symbol,
mhm.
and that that we are whole and complete.
Yeah.
And so you don't need to search outside of yourself.
Really? Oh, can we say that one more time just to make sure? I mean, I know it takes what, 10 to a million times before we actually learn the breakthrough.
Everything you know is inside of you. And so be with, be within.
Hmm.
And
Do
there's no
you-
rush.
No. And do you have any other bits about presence to bring forth? I feel that the divine one is she's like kind of mysterious, and it's also that um, allowing our own divinity um, takes courage, takes patience, and it takes receptiveness. You know, you can't go out and like find her.
It is about trusting your own intuition
Absolutely.
and divine timing and not having to rush.
Exactly. And there's like an uh stages, I want to say that we, and I don't think they're linear, like we age progressively, you know, into a higher divinity stage. I think we cycle in and out and around, and we're in the space more sometimes and not in it the other times. And I think that's why I call upon patience and I call upon allowing, because I don't um I've done a lot of that searching thing and a lot of that forcing thing. That's one of my gene keys. That's my evolution. And it's so that pushy thing is just a way to make her run farther away, you know? So how can we, it's almost like when you get a new kitten or puppy and you want to invite that one more, a puppy will want to climb in your lap, but a kitten sometimes needs to check it out and kind of make sure they're safe and oh yeah, this looks good, this lap looks good, and then they'll climb up, right? So how can we sit and wait and just allow?
Yeah. And then that epiphany part, that insight and being within, that is your connection to source.
Mm.
So strengthening and being with yourself. I I understand this to be the not knowing and being okay with not knowing. Like, I think it's inherent with this gene key. Like, I know things and I don't know how I know them, but that comes from the divine. That is not me, like having it up here, you know. And
It's
that's
like turning on our receptive radio tower so that we have access to that infinite intelligence and
and
universal love. Yeah.
each one of us has that capability. So it's not like we're all magical.
Yes. And don't you love it how we are so able to see it in others so much more readily than we can see it in ourselves? I think for
Oh yeah.
years, it was always about, oh, look at her, man, she's really got it together. She's quite the priestess or whatever. You know, she's got that, da da da. And I'm going, yeah, flip that mirror back around. And I think that's also where we're going in our consciousness is we've stopped being, it's one of those adult developmental things that we teach in the universal model of leadership. As we expand in our awareness, we're not so focused on the external. This is when we've started going, oh yeah, here's the divine one. What if I'm the one I've been looking for all these years? What would
Yeah.
that be like?
Yeah.
So, any other thoughts before we close? And the next 4 weeks, we'll be diving in a little bit more on each of her prime gifts, as well as having an integration session at the end, which allows us to like tie them all together and do a little mini activation so that you can receive that as well. And then you'll have an opportunity to go deeper within the work if you choose to. So, any other thoughts?
Enjoy being in this presence. As we close, let's do a sacred om So go ahead and put your fingers together very lightly. You can feel the energy moving between them. Take a nice big belly breath, and as you exhale, make the sound Om. 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 Till next time. Many blessings.